Sound check, 1, 2.
This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
He knows as soon as he gives it to her, he's gonna give her his heart to her too.
And we'll have kids and get married.
That's too far.
Holy shit.
It is the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you. My name is Corey Winfield, and this is the 217 Recovery Podcast. Joining me in the North Studio tonight is the one, the only, the very special Star Wars fanatic who might not be one of those. It is Mitchell. Mitchell, congratulations on making it through another day at 217 Recovery, and welcome to the podcast.
It's pretty savage around here. I just want to say, may the 4th be with you, live long and prosper.
I don't know.
That's going to make somebody angry.
Probably. That's okay, man, because now they can talk to their therapist about it and they can start digging deep on that issue they had with Star Wars and people.
And Star Trek.
Yep.
Mixing them up.
Getting confused. It makes a lot of people angry.
So it was a good day.
Yeah, you were telling me that you learned how to make pictures.
That
was pretty cool. I was proud of you. I was like, wow, we're really going above and beyond here at 217 Recovery.
Been making a lot of flyers with a lot of people.
You have been. They've been great.
Yep.
Some of them.
Get very good criticism from my boss. No, I learned how to make...
Well, hold on. I got to defend myself. Usually I just walk in and go, Mitchell, this is fix this. Get it the out of here. Or you can get your down the and make. And I usually am like, thanks, but try again.
You did go, did you pee on this? The one time.
I guess it kind of looked like it. Okay, somebody tinkled on it a little bit.
No, you're pretty gentle. I just like to complain.
Yeah. No, but yeah, so it's been fun for you, I think, and I can tell you have like a sense of purpose almost, and the guys that are starting meetings, because a little backstory here is we have the 217 Recovery Center in Traverse City that we're going to open to meetings next week. And there's some guys that live in some sober living homes that are near us, and we went over there and said, hey, you guys want to start your own kind of thing? Like, feel free, if you want to start your meetings up or you want to go to meetings, whatever, if there's not a meeting available, come on down. And a couple of the guys were like, hey, I was thinking about starting this kind of meeting or this kind of whatever. And like, sure, man, it's peer led. So whatever you find that works for you, that keeps you sober, man, like, look, come on down. And they did, and they came down, and you helped them make flyers, and it was really nice because they were really, really super proud of them, and it really gives them that sense of pride for their meeting, and I think that's huge.
Yeah, they were really proud of it, really happy with it, which, did, like you said, gave me a sense of purpose, which was cool. I had a friend of mine, since working here, say, Mitchell, you look really happy, like you're like glowing, like you're stepping into what you're supposed to do. And at first I was like, I don't know what that means. I am happy, but yeah, so it's been great.
You're probably like, well, it's because I'm not at work hearing this from guy who says he's my boss. You don't have to do with that. You're like, I'm out of work, man. Of course I'm happy. See me tomorrow about 9:00 and it'll be a different story, but
no, I've always liked to help people, and so doing it like this, especially when it's something that I've been through and seeing other people working to get through it too, being able to say that, hey, I was able to reach and pull them, kind of like reach out and help. So,
and I like, because you're starting a meeting too, and I like your story, and I tell it to quite a few people that I meet. And when I was talking to a bunch of people about the meetings that we're going to have here, I would talk about your meeting. I was like, look, here's a guy who, he went to some AA meetings, he went to some NA meetings, but that's not what you used to like push you through and to get you clean. And that just goes to show you that it's different for every single person. Some people, they might love AA. Some people might love AA. Some people might love NA. Some people might mix it up. Some people do podcasts, It's whatever works for you. And you're going to start the Spirit of Recovery meetings on Saturday morning at 10:00 here, and people can join on Zoom, but you found Christ, you got that relationship with God, and you're just like, that's what I needed in a recovery coach. That was a perfect combination for me. and I think that's great. And when people hear that, they kind of think, wow, that's cool. That it's not just, your typical AANA, and there's nothing wrong with those programs. There's nothing wrong with Smart Recovery, which we're going to have a Smart Recovery here too, because there's a person that likes that and that's what they want to do. And hey, man, that's great that they can do it here. But your meeting, though, going to have donuts.
Yep.
Yeah, I might have to go get my Jesus on Saturday mornings.
We got Potters right down the street, man. Gotta utilize that.
Not a big fan.
Support local business.
Yeah, I tried. Just the word bad. Maybe it was during COVID. Well, it was during COVID, but I don't know.
COVID donuts weren't as good.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe I should give them a 4th chance. I don't know. You ever had a Wesco donut?
No. There's no Wescos in Traverse City.
No. We should open one.
No.
No. Hey, man, they have one in Manistee.
There's one in Cadillac. I think that might be our closest one.
The first time, Manistee, yeah, they're about the same, I guess. But the first time Marnie went to a Wesco, she about lost her shit because she was like, they got like a little coffee bar? I'm like, no, honey, that's just where you put your creamer in. She's like, yeah, but they got all these kind of creamers and the coffee's actually good and it smells nice and the donuts are fresh and it's a big deal where I'm from. Well, not where I'm from. They just pass it and go, yeah, that's Wesco, man.
I mean, if we're going to talk about donut shops, we got to talk about Daylight Donut. No, not that one. What's the one downtown?
Here?
Yeah.
Traverse City?
Yeah.
Bob's?
Bob's Donuts?
Jim's?
No, it's right down, like across from Bubba's Burgers. So back in my high rolling days when I was a delivery driver, DoorDash, I picked them up a lot. I forget their name. They're amazing. They make them like you order it and then they make it for you.
But it's not their little bitty ones.
They are, but it's
oh hell no!
Dude,
don't even
it's
start,
worth it.
dude. Don't even compare those with Wesco. I'm gonna tell Marnie that you did. Well, you've never had Wesco, so you weren't comparing
right.
them. You were just saying this is good. This might be as good as Wesco, but no. Stop it.
Just the fact that it was still warm from the fryer.
No, it's a gimmick. They take these donuts that they get out of the little bag at the store, the little ones, and then they put it in the microwave for about 10 seconds, dip it in a little fudge, and then throw some like candy topping on it. Like, here you go. Here's your Butterfinger.
Those 99-cent Hostess ones?
Yeah, and then they charge you $8 for a little ass donut. Oh, no, you get 2 of them for $8. I'm like, Jesus, man.
I feel betrayed.
I felt betrayed.
Until you went back to Wesco.
Wesco, I'm telling you, man. The Wesco's not paying me anything, but I'm just saying. Like,
Tom's is all right donuts. Grab them.
Ooh, don't let Tyrone hear you say anything good about Tom's.
Uh-oh.
I have nothing against Tom's. But Tyrone, he said Tom Brady must own this. And Tom Brady must be broke. He's like, because Tom wants his money. And Tom's prices are really high, is what he says.
He's not wrong, but there's one very close to my house. And I had a brother that worked there for a pretty long time. So it was like, support local businesses. We keep going back to that.
Do they pay him well?
No, it was bad.
We went to L.A. My brother worked for a store. He was the accountant person guy. My brother did all right. But we went in there and we went over to the little fruit section and they have pineapple that was like cut up. And I think we talked about it on the podcast we did when we were in L.A. And we walked over and it was like $40 for some cut up pineapple in this little jug. And I was like, damn, like what? Who touched it? Did Cindy Crawford
Tom
come in
Brady
here cut it up? Tom Brady in here cutting them up. It's called Gilson's or Gleason's or something like that. But then we were going, then we saw bananas, and that was crazy. Marty's like, I can't believe there's nothing I can buy in here. We're like, not just because we're like, we're not paying that for that, by God.
Was it one of those like fancy organic places?
They had some stuff in there, but my brother said it's where, like, I think my mom went there and saw Halle Berry in there once.
Oh,
it's like one of the they'll pay $40 for some cut up pineapple, just not be around anybody else, And even paparazzi don't go in there because they get thirsty and they got to buy a water for $25, and they're like, well, we're just gonna wait outside for old Halle Berry to come out. But we asked, we're like, damn, like how much do the cashiers make? And he was like, oh, about $80,000 a year. Sorry, what? But it is LA. Cost of living is a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a cashier. You think, no, I make over 80 grand a year.
Drives an Audi.
Yeah, my brother said that there's like a long wait to have that job. I was like, I bet. Checking out Halle Berry every day. Ching, here's your fruit. See you later. Because it wasn't slam packed like a Meyer up here.
So it's funny that you went to produce because that's what my brother did at Tom's. He was a produce guy. So he wasn't the accountant. He was the guy that sorted the grapes. So
he's in packaging.
In packaging. That's his career. So yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I guess he could be in accounting then. If he's sorting grapes.
What are they called? Bean counters?
Yeah,
isn't that what they call them?
I think so. Grape counters though, but yeah. Just different kind of accounting. But counting was going on. I wonder who invented counting.
I'm pretty sure I know him.
Think so? Oh, you're pointing to the ceiling.
Past that.
Oh, the roof.
Jesus.
Oh, jeez. Oh, okay. You think he invented it?
Yeah.
Nah.
Or his dad.
No, I think it's that one guy. It's one ringy dingy. Two ringy dingy. The guy from Sesame Street.
I was going to say that vampire guy from Sesame Street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He invented it. Three ringy dingy.
People just didn't count things before, 1980 something when that started?
I think so. It was in the 70s, I think. I wonder how many people, or how many kids went to school and they were like counting, and you ever had to count out loud? Sometimes we do it and like, all right, we'll go around the room and keep going. And I wonder how many kids were like, one ringy dingy, two ringy dingies.
With the accent.
Three ringy dingy.
After Sesame Street came out, I'm sure teachers hated Jim Henson. Jim Henson, that's his name.
I don't think so.
Whatever. The guy, the puppet guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's something we'll never know the answer to. I could Google it, but it kind of killed the fun right now. Sometimes not knowing the answer, it makes it even more fun because you can still speculate. Like one time, I couldn't tell you what podcast it was, what episode, but we were talking about alcohol being invented, and like I found out that it was invented by the Chinese, like way before even Jesus was around. And Marnie said I was making fun of them, but I was like, what would they even talk about up there? Like, hey, this makes this and that. And
I don't think. Oh, way before. You said way before. I thought you said after. And I'm like,
oh, way before.
Pretty sure that was one of the first things he ever did that was cool, was made alcohol.
Wait, Jesus making alcohol was cool? Well, he turned water into wine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like that trick, the party trick he did.
Yeah. It was good stuff, too. Everybody was like, whoa.
Yeah, I saw it on a show once. Mm-hmm. They're like, this is better than the other stuff.
That's what it says in the book.
I wonder why Jesus didn't make treatment centers.
I think that was kind of his goal, but I don't know. He tried to help a lot of people.
You're turning water into wine for these people at this wedding, but you can't like hook a brother up with some treatment, which he did though in the end. But
he healed hundreds, maybe thousands of people.
I don't know.
Arguably alcoholics at the time too, like people with unclean spirits.
Yeah. He helped me out. That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Your old work wasn't that impressive.
Well, when you helped me, that was that good stuff, Lord. When I was in jail and I got on my knees and I said, Lord, let that be the last drink I ever take. And you said, okay. Sit in here for another week or two.
That's a really interesting part of my story, was being in the thickest, deepest, darkest part. I'm going to go real serious on this now. Worst of the addiction for me, the drinking, was I grew up religious, and then I became an adult and kind of was like, oh, whatever, I'm going to have fun. And, then that brought along addiction. But I would go back to it from time to time and try to use it as like one of those things to like get better. Like I tried the AA and it didn't work, or it worked until it didn't. And then I tried church and it worked until I didn't. And then I tried counseling and it worked until it didn't. It wasn't until I found kind of a combination of all those things.
Uh-huh.
And but I remember like you said, like being in the worst of it. You're sobering up and you can't afford to go buy another bottle and your hands are shaking and you're just dying. Yeah. And I got so unhealthy, and I know you can kind of relate to this because of the health issues that you went through, but so unhealthy at one point that I could barely get out of bed to walk across my hallway just to go to the bathroom. Like, it was like excruciating. Like, you see those like cartoons of like guys in the desert walking towards the water.
Yeah.
It's like, I just had to take a piss. And that was my life. And I just remember sitting there, and one time in the hospital, probably a couple times in the hospital, in just my room, just hating my life, going through withdrawals, and just being like, God, like, I know you, like, I've heard stories of you doing this for people. Please, I believe you're there. Like, please do this for me. Just like sobbing and shaking and just all the things. And it wasn't until recently that I kind of understood that I do think that he's done that for people and been like, you asked for it, there you go. And then people can use that as a testimony, like, for him. But for me, I was always like, why wouldn't you do that for me? And recently it kind of was really revealed to me that I kind of got this pride where I was like, God didn't do it for me. He had me do it for myself so I could get stronger. But I even realized I don't think that was true. Like, he kind of guided me through it so I could use my own strength to get through it. Because I don't want anybody to ever think that I don't believe that God didn't help me out of that. But he didn't give me the easy way out for a reason. It's actually one of the things that we're going to talk about during the first meeting of the Spirit of Recovery. And it's actually going to be about David in the Old Testament. Where, and a lot of people are like, oh, you're going to talk about David slaying giants and addiction? I'm like, yeah, like everybody else that's ever done a Bible study for, addicts? No. We're going to talk about how David had the confidence to go up against Goliath because of his past life experience before, not past life, but his
We're getting into it. Star Trek.
I know we started with Star Wars, Star Trek, but no, his younger life being a shepherd and fighting bears and lions and stuff like that. And it's like, you're going through tough times because you're going to be able to take on big shit later. And that's going to be kind of our opening discussion to open up and be like, right, what do you guys want to talk about now? The thought provoker.
Yeah, and some people they think, well, I prayed and it's supposed to just happen. And, like, you wave a magic wand, and I don't know about your God, but my God doesn't work that way. Like, he helps those who help themselves, and you have to do it. Like, I could have just prayed, hey, God, let that be the last drink I ever take, and then got out of jail and just thought, all right, well, let's go get drunk today, but it's something that I needed to want myself. And yeah, he did it. I give him all the credit for sure. But he had me doing things for myself, like there were things lining up that I could have never seen coming. And that's the beauty of it. When you look back at it too, you realize, like, I could have not have lined all the stuff up by myself. Mm-hmm. And he put people in the path. When I started to veer off the path, he yanked me and put me right back on it. Yep. I said, no, go this way, man. Like, you've asked for this stuff. Here you go. Like, keep going.
Well, I think what you said is, I don't know about your God, but my God, like, I think he does both. And I think if you look into the Bible, it shows that. And that's why I'm talking about David and not Jesus, because Jesus did a lot of stuff like, you have faith, let me heal you. Boom. It's done. It's gone. It's over with. He can do that. But he doesn't do that all the time. Like, David didn't go up to the giant and be like, Jesus, save me from this guy, and then he like keeled over dead. Right. Like, he had to use
some aliens in to shoot him up.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to Star Trek. But no, it was his past experience that taught him how to deal with that. And he went through those tough experiences. I just wish that I had the grace that David did, because for a long time it was like, for me, it was like I had to go through all this stuff, and now I can handle. I'm so strong now, but I was still kind of bitter that I had to go through the tough times. And the thing I like about that story is he gets there. He's the scrawny guy. He's the little guy. All the soldiers are like cowering, and he's like, "Yeah, let's do this." They're like, how do you even, he's like, the bears and lions thing. He's like, he's just some dude. Like, wow, let's do this.
I'm going to cheat and throw this rock at him. I'm going to fight dirty. I don't fight fair, man.
It worked.
You ever fought a bear? You don't wrestle bears. I throw this rock and hit him right in the head.
And you don't want to get within that paw reach.
Like, that's my sheep, bear. Get off my sheep. Save some for me, man. He was getting bored out there, just kicking rocks and thinking to himself, why am I doing this again? This sucks. And then they got to fight bears every once in a while.
Yeah.
This is horrible. I hate this job. But then, boom, he didn't see it coming. And then, boom, like he is, like you said, using that skill that not in a million years would he have thought, oh, I'm going to go use this and fight this guy. And it's going to start this whole revolution. Like he never thought that.
Yeah, he became one of the greatest kings of Israel, and that's what I really like and kind of relate to about, I've never become a king, but it's like once you step into that purpose, you get through that university stage of your life where you go through the hard times to learn the lesson, and you start to step into that point where you can start to use it. Good stuff, just boom. Boom. I mean, you're going to have rough stuff. It's like, you can't hear me say that it's only going to be good stuff. But, like,
when you're going through it, you don't know why you're going through it, but it's not up to you to know why.
Right.
But I have a question for you.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you. How many people you think David killed after Goliath?
Thousands. There's a song about it.
With the slingshot, though, I mean. You think, like, if somebody got too close to his wife, he was just, ow.
First, the dude had like 17 wives.
That's a lot of stones he had to be carrying around with him. You think his stone getter guy would like kind of screw him up, get him a real light one time? Be like, yeah, well, see how David likes this. Old Jemiah or whatever, he's gonna come over here and beat his ass when he tries throwing those little fake rocks over at him. It's just dirt, it's mud. Oh man,
What did you do?
Jekiah or whatever your name is, don't beat me up.
So basically, he did, and I'm gonna go like theology on it. He did what he did with Goliath because that's what he knew, and he was a kid. Like, they think he was a teenager. And he became a man and used a sword. And that's actually part of the story that I'm going to share in it, is later after, because he killed many, many, many people, and there's actually a song that the people sang, it talks about it in the Bible. The king at the time that he was working for, that loved him, that's why he started to hate him, because the people loved him so much, because there was a song that was, King Saul killed 1,000 people, David was killed 10,000, something like, I don't know. And then the king was like, they love him more than me, and got super mad, and then tried to kill him for like 20 years.
So he was that generation's see murder.
Yeah.
Okay. And man, 17 wives, like,
I don't know if that's an actual number, but it was a lot.
Because it could have been 217. And what if, like, what about now makes that not okay to have 17 wives, if that's the number?
I was actually just talking to somebody about this the other day, and it's like, we don't really know. Like, that wasn't really the way that God wanted it to happen in the beginning, because he made one dude and one wife for him, and it was like, hey, this is how you're supposed to do things. But then later on in the Bible, you have these great men doing great things for God that have 5, 6, 7, 8 wives.
And another question I've never asked anybody: why did they stop writing the Bible?
Arguably, this is what I've heard recently, is one, because it was complete and it's like the training manual was done.
It's pretty old.
Yeah, it's pretty old. You can still get a lot out of it though. But it's like it was complete, and that's what it was supposed to be for us, so we can have that. But also, it wasn't done being written, but bad guys took the stuff and took stuff out of it. Like they say that they think the Bible used to have other books in it.
Yeah.
And
how do you know someone's still not writing it?
Right. Actually, that was a shower thought I had yesterday, maybe this morning. And I was like, what if what I'm doing, because I've been reading about David a lot in this, and I draw some parallels. I'll never be as great of a man he was. But like, there's some parallels in it in my story.
Just because you have 17 wives does not make you great. Just saying.
Never been that much of a player. But but I was like, what if what somebody's doing now, like, and I don't think I really believe this, but it's like, what if somebody's doing something now, or what if I'm doing now, and somebody's going to write an autobiography, and if the world, Jesus doesn't come back within the next, whatever, in 2,000 years, they put together a book, and it's like the new Bible, and like one of us is part of it. Like, that'd be sweet. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't really want to put any belief in it, but it'd be cool.
It's pretty far out there. You thought about that in the shower?
It was a shower thought, so yeah.
Well, at least you weren't thinking about other stuff, like 17 wives, I guess. That'd be just way too much work, man.
It sounds...
Like, some people are like, that'd be great to have sex. No, it wouldn't. It'd be horrible.
I would love to have a wife, but one.
Just one.
A wife, yes.
Perfect. I don't know how people would even think that was... Well, I mean, back in the day, though, they'd have them, like, do stuff, like, make me rocks so I can throw them at people or whatever David did.
I like David, man. He just had palace, and I'm pretty sure he had wives in different towns, like different area codes. That saying.
Act like you don't know that song. The song is hoes in different area codes.
I wasn't sure if the H word was all right for the podcast.
Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, I don't think it was a little bit different. And David had to do it for everybody. The kings back then, like, I mean, those guys had people that just stood there and held their armor until he felt like putting it on. So it was a little bit different. But now, yeah. You seen that show, Sister Wives?
Can't say I have.
It's a TLC, one of those. I can't, like, the channel that has 90 Day Fiance. It's about
Don't watch that show.
This dude that has like 4 or 5 wives. It's legal wherever he's at. And I haven't seen it, but I've seen commercials for it, and it looks kind of like torture.
Yeah.
Worse than The Bachelor.
Yeah, just be careful what you wish for, I guess. And I don't know, like, I seen a show like that, and like one was like milking a goat or something, and I don't even know. The other was making cheese. The other was like folding clothes, and
Yeah, I think these guys are more modern. It sounds a little Amish to me, but
whoa. I'd say nothing. I love the Amish community. Build great things for us to buy. But you're not listening to this podcast, so I don't know why I'm. Yeah, so that'll do it for this episode of the podcast. We'll leave that on the Amish people. Thanks for listening, and this turned into David and Goliath / Bible Talk with Mitchell.
until I find it the Amish.
And his meeting is Saturdays at 10 a.m. It's not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Starts next Saturday.
Yes.
13th.
So the 13th, 10 a.m. Check it out. There'll be a link at 217recovery.com. There'll also be an easy way for you to find it through our app. And you can get our app through the App Store. I think you have to search 217 Recovery Podcast on Apple. And I think maybe just 217 Recovery on Google. I don't know. You'll figure it out. You're a smart person. I have faith in you. So figure that out. Get it. And then if you want to check out his meeting, you just tap the app. Little tappy. Tap it. It opens up. It says meetings. You click that. And then bloop. Oh, here's the one I want. Yep. It's that easy. Like 3 taps maybe.
Easier than donuts at Tom's.
Yes. Thank you. Talk to you later.
Have a good one, everybody. Bye.
What?
Bye.
How are you saying that?
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. We hope you come back for our next episode.